How's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you everything I know about making money as a toy photographer. So I get a lot of questions on this. How do you make money from toy photography, this and that? And so that's really why I'm making this video. And it's not going to be anything like, this is a get rich quick and how to make lots of money from toy photography. It's easy. It's definitely not going to be anything like that. But I really do believe that there are a lot of really big opportunities for making a little money on the side or even making toy photography into a potential career. So full disclosure, toy photography is not my full-time job, but I do make a little bit of money from it here and there from a lot of different avenues, which is really cool. And so I'm really going to share everything I know about all those different avenues you can try to pursue too, and maybe make some money as well from toy photography. And this is one thing I really think is very important that I really want to mention before getting into this too. So like I said, yeah, toy photography does have a lot of great potential to make some money on the side or even make into an actual career. I really do believe that. But it doesn't have to be a career. It doesn't ever have to be anything like a career or anything like that. If toy photography is just an awesome, relaxing, great hobby that you love and enjoy on the weekends or whatever, that is amazing. And it never ever has to be anything more than that. But if you love toy photography to the point where you want to make it into a potential career or something you can make money off of, this video is for you. Okay, so the most important thing for you to do and to work on before taking all of these steps into making toy photography a career or whatever is making your work the best it can possibly be and perfecting your craft as much as you possibly can. Work on your art and make it the most quality that you can possibly make it. Your number one focus should always be, no matter where you are in your toy photography journey, I believe, is to really just make your photos as awesome and epic and quality and great as they can possibly be. So really working on your art and your camera skills and your photos and everything, that should be number one. Always make sure you're doing everything you can to make your art the best it can possibly be. And trying to make money from your art will always be so much easier once you've really spent the time and put in the hard work to make your photos as awesome and as attractive to many different people as possible. So it's really important just to, focus on making your art the best it can possibly be. And so also a really important thing too that will really help with all of this thing and trying to make money is making sure your social media presence is great and working on your social media presence. I mean, social media is huge, it's enormous. It's one of the biggest things ever, and there are millions and millions of really big opportunities that can come from social media. So expanding your presence on different platforms and growing your audience will really make it so much easier for companies and all of these different avenues for you to make money to find you. It'll make it so much easier for these opportunities to find you as long as you have that kind of social media presence. And I actually made an entire video just on building social media presence, gaining a following, and exposing your work to as many people as possible. I made a whole tutorial just on that, so I strongly recommend watching that video along with this one too to really do everything you possibly can to grow your art and your toy photography business, basically. And I'll have that tutorial linked in the video here as well as in the description of this video as well. So the last thing to mention before I get into the different ways to make money is just making yourself available. It's really important to make sure you are very available and easy to get a hold of. So that can be like making sure you have an email that's easy to get to on all of your social media platforms, making sure it's in your Instagram description, all that kind of stuff. Making a website is incredibly valuable as well. You can make websites through Wix or through Squarespace to make a website very, very easily and pretty affordably as well. And it's important to have your gallery of photos and other work you've done too. So for potential people who want to work with you, they can see what you've already done and kind of get an idea of, the kind of person you are professionally or whatever. It's also really super helpful to have something like a link tree linked in like your profile of your Instagram or your TikTok or something. So then when someone goes to your profile and they click on your link tree, they can see all of your different ways, to get to your Instagram, to your this, all your socials, your website, your contact. So I would definitely recommend looking into getting a link tree as well, or one of those kinds of profile link providers like Linktree. TapLink is another good one. That's the one I use. And so as long as you have all of these things available, anytime anyone important or a company finds your profile, they can click on something real easy, get in contact with you, and it's really super easy for them. Okay, so now that I've talked about all those things to do beforehand, let's actually talk about some avenues for you to actually make some money from toy photography. So the first thing you think of as a toy photographer and making money from it is, yes, selling your photos. Selling your photos is a great way and can be a pretty easy way to sell your work. And it also feels really good if you ever put your photo up for sale somewhere and somebody buys it and hangs it up on their wall. That's so cool and incredibly flattering if that ever happens. So there's a lot of great, easy websites you can do that from. For instance, Redbubble is a good one. Spring is really good. Actually, I use Spring. I like it quite a bit because I can link my Spring store right to my YouTube and right to my Instagram. It's really, really great. It used to be called Teespring, but now it's called Spring. And basically what you can do on websites like Redbubble, Spring, you upload your artwork, upload your toy photo, stick it on, you can put it on posters or t-shirts or mugs or whatever. And then if anyone likes it, they go to your store, they can buy it, and that's it. You don't have to send it out. You don't have to do anything. Redbubble or Spring, they'll print it out and ship it just like that. And you can still make a profit off of the prints or whatever it is that you sold on the store. And it's easy because you don't have to do any of the work. They do all the hard work for you. Another great website to use is Etsy. Etsy is just a website that's completely about selling custom stuff and handmade stuff. And it's really a great website, and you could probably do quite well on there. But the thing with Etsy is you have to actually pack up and ship the things out yourself. I used Etsy for quite a few years where I would buy all of my prints in bulk, have them at home, and then anytime someone bought them, I would wrap it up, ship it out. And also what's great about Etsy too is the fact that you will most likely get more of a profit per sale, but you do still have to make the investment of buying all of your photos yourself first. And I would buy all of my photos in bulk from a website called Scenalight.com. I'll have that linked here as well. It's a great website to print out photos in any kind of shape or size, big, small, whatever, in large amounts. You have this large amount with you at home, and anyone who buys it on Etsy or something, you can pack it up, ship it out yourself. It's a bigger investment up front, but in the end, you will probably make more of a profit off of your sales of your prints in the long run. Another really great way to sell your toy photos and sell your art is through local Comic-Cons, local conventions. There are so many local conventions depending on where you live. Just me, where I live in New York, there's tons of them all over the place in different areas. If you have any local conventions near you, go to their website, sign up to be a vendor, get a table, and you'll have an amazing time at this convention, selling your artwork, kind of introducing people to your artwork, introducing people to toy photography in general, having conversations about it, and then also probably making a little bit of money, people buying your artwork and putting it up on their wall or whatever. It's a really, really great time doing something like that, and I really recommend giving that a shot. But like I said, you'll probably need to have the artwork printed out already so you can sell it at your table at the con, and using a website like Scenalight, like I mentioned before, is a really great website to do that in bulk. And I can think of one very specific convention that might be really great if you're thinking about doing this. It's called Toys in Action. The first ever toy photography con that we're having here in Saratoga, New York. So if anyone's near that area around New York and you want to sell your photos, Toys in Action is a great way to do it. So toysinactionconvention.com too if you want to join and be a part of our convention. But the biggest question that everyone always has about selling your photos is, what about copyright? Like, what's the deal with copyright and all of these copyright laws and stuff like that? Well, yes, you're always going to have the risk of dealing with copyright issues because a lot of the photos we use are with, characters that are owned by somebody else. Iron Man is owned by Disney. They own that guy. So is there an issue with you selling your artwork, that kind of thing, even though Disney owns that? There's always that risk, yes, but there's some very, very easy ways to get around that, and it's really not nearly as big of a deal as you think. So just a couple weekends ago, we went to the Philadelphia Fan Expo Comic-Con, which was a lot of fun, and you know what? There was probably hundreds of vendors there, and they were all selling artwork that they've done, fan art and t-shirts and stuff of, licensed Star Wars and Marvel and DC and all these big companies, and they were not officially licensed people to sell them. They're just people selling their own fan art. The world is full of people selling their own fan art, and toy photography is definitely fan art. So if you decide to sell your photos online or wherever, it's very important to make sure you're not labeling your toy photography as officially licensed stuff from Star Wars or Lucasfilm or whatever. So usually what I will do, so for instance, my Darth Vader photo that I have on my store, right there, boom, I don't label that as Star Wars Darth Vader photo. I label it as Dark Lord. Boom, there you go. So I'm not labeling it as an officially licensed Star Wars product. It's Dark Lord, it's different. So it's important not to use any of those officially licensed terms like Star Wars, Darth Vader, Marvel in your official listing on Redbubble or Spring. Don't put it in your title, don't put it in your tags, because these websites have algorithms that can pick up on that stuff and they could potentially take down your photo. So like I said, there's always the risk of some kind of copyright issue. There always will be, but there are some very, very easy ways to get around that. And as long as you're not using officially licensed terms, Star Wars, Marvel, in your listings, you shouldn't really have a problem. And it's been working pretty good for me so far. So that's the best I can recommend in that area. So the next avenue to potentially make some money as a toy photographer is through brand affiliations. And it's actually a really cool and mutually beneficial way for you to make money, and as well as the company you're working with to also make money. So I'm sure you've probably seen me in other videos talk about companies that I have some kind of affiliation with, like for instance, LoomCube is one of the companies that I work with, and they are quite awesome. I really like working with LoomCube. And so basically how it works is I will talk about their product in a video or something, and I'll say, make sure to use my code, my discount code, or make sure to use my special affiliate link. So every time they get the sale, LoomCube makes a sale, but it's through my link or through my code, I'm basically getting credit for that sale, and I get a small commission per sale that I'm making. So basically LoomCube is getting the sale, they're getting the sale, great for LoomCube, and then I'm getting a little bit of commission for that, so great for me. So it's good on both ends, and then also in the end, you're probably getting a nice discount on a really great product. So it's a pretty mutually beneficial experience, I think so, and it's especially mutually beneficial if you're working with a company that you actually really like and you actually really believe in. So if you do decide to do that kind of thing, definitely make sure you're doing it with something that you really like, you really believe in, and something that will actually really work with your branding. Like with me, LoomCube works perfect because I use them all the time anyway, so it's really, really perfect for me, for them, and hopefully for anybody who uses the code too. And also Amazon has a really great affiliate program that's really easy to use that anybody can sign up for. Just search Amazon affiliate and it's really, really easy and quite great actually. I really enjoyed using it. It's pretty great. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out to any companies that you think would be perfect to work with, or see if they maybe have an affiliate program or if they'd be interested in having you as an affiliate. Definitely don't be afraid to reach out to them through email or through DM on social media or something like that. Or who knows, if you're working hard and your work is looking great and your social media presence is really great, they might just reach out to you. Who knows? So the next avenue for making money as a toy photographer or any kind of artist really is monetizing your content through social media platforms. So pretty much all of the big platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, they all have some type of way for creators on their platform to monetize their content. And basically what that means is Instagram or YouTube or something will pay you based on how many people watch your videos or view your content that you're creating. So if you really work on your social media presence, really work on your YouTube channel or your Instagram account, or really focus on that kind of thing, eventually, after a certain amount of hits or views your videos get, the social media platform, YouTube or whoever, will reach out and give you a notification saying, congratulations, you're now eligible to monetize your content, blah, 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 which basically just means they'll give you money based on how many views you get. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube all do that. I'm sure some of the other ones do in some way, shape, or form. So for example, Instagram has this program called the Reels bonus. So basically, once you get enough views on your Reels, they'll say, hey, you're now eligible for the Reels bonus, or however they say it. And so based on how many views your Reels get in a certain period of time, Instagram will just pay you money. So basically what's in it for Instagram is they want people to use Reels and get that going. So they're trying to really pay their creators to get them to use it and stuff. So there's a lot of different ways to monetize your content through those platforms. And like I said before, the video that I have here about growing your audience and exposing your work for toy photography, definitely recommend watching that. Everything I know about growing your social media presence through toy photography is in that video. So the next thing I would talk about for making money off of toy photography is through commissions. And what a commission is basically if somebody has an idea of something they want very specifically, they can reach out to you and say, hey, I would like you to make this for me, and then they pay you to do it. Basically, it's just as simple as that. So for instance, you could get an email and say, hi, my son really likes your work and he really likes Batman and he really likes Spider-Man. Could you take a picture for him that has Batman and Spider-Man fighting or something? And you could be like, yeah, sure, I'd love to do that. Here's my rate for commissions. And so that person would pay you this amount of money to take a picture of Spider-Man and Batman together. Hopefully you have those figures already. And then you send them the photo, they pay you. And the rates that you charge for that kind of thing is completely up to you. That's all your decision, but it is quite simple. Just as simple as that. So to get commissions, I think it's really important to make sure to do something about, commissions open on your Instagram profile or wherever on your website. Say commissions available, reach out for rates or something. Make sure it's available to your viewers that you take commissions, and so that you're up for that. There's also this website or this app called Fiverr that I think is pretty much just for commission work and stuff like that. You can pretty much put in your skills and then people find you and say, oh great, I need this done. Then they pay you and it's all through the app. It sounds really cool and I've actually been meaning to try it, but I haven't yet. So I would definitely recommend looking into using Fiverr too if you want to do some commission work. Definitely recommend giving that a shot as well. So the last one I have here, the last avenue for making money, I think could potentially be the biggest one to really turn into some type of career for sure. And that is just photographing products for companies. There's a lot of companies out there with products, whether them be toys or some other type of small product. Those companies are going to need photos of their products, and luckily you have the skills to do so. And all of the things we've already talked about in the video, your social media presence, working on your art, making a website, all of those things are so important because it makes it easier for all of these companies to find you and reach out to you and ask you, how much is it going to cost for me to get all of these products photographed or whatever. And you never know who could reach out to you. These could be really big companies that you know very well, or there could be some tiny little companies you've never heard of before. So mostly in my experience with this kind of thing, taking pictures for different companies, it's all been basically these companies have found me through my social media profile and then reached out to me, which is so awesome. But it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's good for you to be the one to make the initiative or contact them first and say, hi there, I'm a toy photographer. I would love to work together. This is some of my work, blah, blah, blah. It's always good for you to make the initiative too. And there's one story that I know I've told many of times, which is with Mountain Dew. One time I decided I wanted to take some pictures of toys with Mountain Dew, blah, blah, blah. And I posted the photos and I tagged Mountain Dew in them. And you know what? Mountain Dew saw them and they liked them, but they reached out to me and responded back and said, we like the photos, we'd like to send you more stuff. And eventually I did get a paid job from Mountain Dew out of that. And it was really awesome. Like, how cool is that? Mountain Dew, like that's so cool. So sometimes it's good for you to make the initiative too. And sometimes that means just going out, taking a picture of something really awesome with their product included in it, tagging them on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're posting it. Who knows, they could see it and it could turn into something beautiful. But also at the same time, you need to be prepared for, there's a possibility you might not get any responses. I've made so many reach outs to different companies I wanted to work with and never got anything. Never. Anything at all, and that's totally okay. Like one time I took a picture of this really cool can of Liquid Death because I really like Liquid Death and I love their seltzer and I drink it all the time. And I took the picture and I entered it into the contest thing. I also reached out to them, sent them emails. They liked the photo, they liked it, and they actually posted it on their TikTok, I believe too, but they never responded to my emails. They never did anything else that they didn't want to work with me, or maybe they didn't see it. Who knows? But you know what? I took the rejection very well. I still like the company, still drink it, but it is what it is. That's okay. So some of probably my biggest accomplishments and some of the things I'm the most proud of are some of the photo work that I've done for some companies, like even with Disney. these companies literally wanted to pay me to do toy photography for them, and it just blows my mind, and I'm so incredibly fortunate and grateful to get these kinds of opportunities. But that just goes to show how awesome and valuable toy photography is and how big it could turn into something. So these kinds of photo work for different companies is probably my number one thing that I strive for as far as making a career out of toy photography, because I'm not quite there yet. I'm doing my best, but toy photography isn't my full-time career. I'm doing my best still. So in the end, as long as you're making your work and your artwork the best and the most quality it could possibly be, and you're putting yourself out there, and you're reaching out to people, and you're really just working hard, you could definitely make toy photography a career, or even make a little bit of money on the side. Toy photography is huge. That's how cool it is. There's so much value in this skill. But also at the same time, it doesn't have to be a career. You don't have to make money from it. You can just have fun and continue it as a hobby, just like you are, and that's great. That's the beauty of it. You can do whatever you want with toy photography, that's for sure. So those are all of the different avenues that I know of how you can make money through toy photography. And I hope this video was helpful. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming or something, but it really is just as simple as that. So if you guys have any other ideas or any other things that you'd like to share on how you've made money through toy photography, please share it in the comments. I would really love to know. And of course, you can always ask me questions. I'll be happy to answer. That's about it for me. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. See ya!